Welcome to Sparta, where your first achievement in life is simply surviving the world's toughest job interview, being born. Congratulations, you passed the initial screening. Your twin brother? Not so much. See, in Sparta, babies don't get cute little future leader onesies or warm blankets. They get a full performance review by the Council of Elders at the Lesh, one quick look at your twin's below standard build, and he gets the ancient equivalent of thank you for your applications, a one-way trip off the edge of Mount Taygetos. Your first memory isn't of loving cuddles or soft blankets, it's your mother's stern face as she bathes your tiny body in unmixed wine instead of warm water. This is Sparta's initial test of physical endurance. They believe that the alcohol vapor either causes weak babies to go into fits and perish, or it hardens the strong ones like tempered iron. Congratulations, you just passed your second performance review, and you're not even a month old yet. While other Greek babies in neighboring city-states are being showered with toys, gifts, and affection, you are getting the full Spartan premium package, sleeping completely alone in pitch darkness so you don't develop a fear of the night, zero swaddling so your limbs are forced to grow tough and uncoddled, and absolutely no comfort when you cry. Your crib mobile? Probably a collection of miniature bronze daggers. Your bedtime lullaby? The heavy rhythmic stomping of marching soldiers outside your window. Your first 7 years at home are basically an extended warm-up for the real fun that is coming up next. Forget wooden toys or basic alphabet lessons. You have baby burpees and miniature military drills to master. Every time you complain about something being too difficult, your mother just silently points at Mount Taygetos in the distance. Nothing ends a childhood tantrum quite like a subtle reminder that you are lucky to even be having one at all. So enjoy these first 7 years, and we use the word enjoy very loosely here, because soon you will be joining Sparta's innovative character building program, where the primary building materials are pain, discipline, and enough physical hardship to make modern military boot camp look like a luxury spa retreat. Happy 7th birthday. Instead of wrapped presents, sweet cakes, or a family party, you get an eviction notice from your own home. Welcome to the Agoge, Sparta's state-run educational system, where character building means breaking you down completely to rebuild you as a proper Spartan weapon. Orientation day is basically the Hunger Games minus the fun parts. Your very first day starts with getting your head completely shaved bald and being handed what can generously be called clothing. One single, thin, coarse cloak called a tribon that is supposed to last you for an entire year. Spoiler alert, Sparta does not believe in seasonal wardrobes. Winter is just another great opportunity to prove you aren't soft. Food immediately becomes your primary life obsession, mainly because there is so little of it. The daily food portions served in the mess hall are deliberately kept small to encourage creative food acquisition. That's fancy Spartan talk for stealing. If you manage to sneak into a nearby farm and snatch a loaf of bread or a piglet without being seen, the instructors praise your stealth. But don't get caught, or you will quickly learn why Spartan discipline isn't just a fun workout routine. You aren't punished for the act of stealing. You are publicly flogged for being sloppy enough to get caught. Your new classmates aren't your friends, they are your future battle unit. Imagine the most intense group project in human history, where failing doesn't mean a bad grade. It means collective physical punishment for your entire squad. You learn real quick that teamwork makes the dream work isn't just a cute saying. It's the literal difference between eating dinner and sleeping on an empty stomach. Training dominates your life from dawn until dusk, interrupted only by mandatory lessons in music. Yes, really. Spartans believe music helps with group battle coordination and marching in rhythm. You learn just enough reading and writing to understand military dispatches, and you are rigorously trained to reply to any question with the shortest possible answer. Spartans invented aggressive minimalism long before it was cool. This is just level 1 of your Spartan education game. Like every poorly designed video game, each level just gets harder, and there are absolutely no cheat codes or save points. Get some sleep on your bed of hand-plucked river reeds. Tomorrow you get to learn why they call it endurance training, and trust me, you will need every single ounce of rest you can get. Your teenage years bring a special upgrade. Welcome to Sparta's elite training program. Think of it as the world's first extreme boot camp, minus any motivational speeches and plus a whole lot more character building opportunities. Philosophy and poetry are left for the soft kids over in Athens. Here, food is now a full contact sport. The mess hall is basically an ancient version of Battle Royale. And your daily food allowance is so small, they might as well have called it a mild food suggestion. Stealing isn't just encouraged, it's practically 40% of the curriculum. Just don't get caught, unless you enjoy public beatings as a side dish. Speaking of public spectacles, let's talk about everyone's favorite annual event, the whipping contest at the altar of Artemis Orthia, known as the Diamastigosis. Come one, come all to witness teenagers competing to see who can endure the maximum number of heavy leather lashes without making a single sound. The crowd cheers, the priestesses watch, and contestants compete for honor. Some boys have literally died right at the altar trying to win. Talk about absolute dedication to the craft. The combat training gets deadly serious too. No more wooden practice swords, now you are working with the real deal. Those battle formation drills you learned as a young kid? Now you execute them while people are actively trying to stab and hit you with iron weapons. Your one thin cloak is still your only defense against the freezing winter elements, because apparently Spartan warriors need to be completely weatherproof. But here's the real fun part. You are starting to glimpse your future role in the Cryptia, those upperclassmen who disappeared into the wilderness for days at a time without explanation. You are about to learn what they were really doing out there in the dark. Well, that's the story for your next life chapter, assuming you survive puberty Spartan style. Because in Sparta, teenage rebellion isn't about sneaking out to parties, it's about secretly hoping for a single day without a near-death experience. Congratulations on reaching your 20s. It is time to enter the most secretive and sinister phase of Spartan life, the Cryptia. Think of it as ninja training meets state-sanctioned security, except failure means far more than just a career setback. Starting a family or running a business can wait. You've got some serious night stalking to do. Your new uniform makes your previous one-cloak wardrobe look like pure luxury. You are stripped of all armor, given no shoes, provided 0 food rations and handed just a small iron dagger. You are dressed for success, Spartan stealth style. The cold winter winds cut right through your thin garments as you move through the dark countryside like an invisible shadow. Turns out there's a reason they call it bare minimum equipment, emphasis on the word bare. Home is now wherever you can hide without being spotted by anyone. Sleeping happens strictly during the day, hidden away in damp caves, ditches, or dense undergrowth. Nighttime is reserved for maintaining social order through means that would make modern HR departments faint. Sparta's entire agricultural economy relies on the helots, an enslaved population that vastly outnumbers Spartan citizens. To keep them terrified and prevent an uprising, the Spartan state officially declares war on the helots every year. Your job in the Cryptia is to roam the countryside at night and eliminate any helots who show strength, leadership, or potential rebellion. The helots know you're out there in the dark, which is exactly the point. Oh, and somewhere in between all of this, you're expected to get married. But don't get too excited, you still aren't allowed to actually live with your wife. You have to sneak out of the barracks in total darkness, meet her in secret, and sprint back to your squad before sunrise. Try explaining to her why you keep disappearing at night, half naked, covered in mud, and holding a bloody dagger. It's definitely not your typical newlywed phase. The best part? This lifestyle comes with 0 creature comforts. No warm beds, no hot meals, and no shelter during heavy rainstorms. Your performance metrics include your ability to survive winter barefoot and your effectiveness at appearing and disappearing like a ghost. But hey, you're almost at full citizenship. Just a few more years of this extreme character-building exercise, and you'll finally get to live like a normal person. Well, as normal as life gets in Sparta. Congratulations, you've hit the big 3-0, which in Sparta means you finally get your full citizenship card. After 23 long years of training, starving, and proving yourself, you've earned the ultimate right to keep serving Sparta, but with slightly better living conditions. It's like getting a major promotion where your main reward is simply more responsibility. Finally, you can move out of the communal barracks and live at home with your family. But don't get too excited. You are still expected to show up for daily military duties and mandatory public meals. Think of it as having a permanent 24/7 on-call job where the phone is always ringing. Except instead of a phone, it's a messenger shouting at you to grab your heavy shield and spear. Those famous Spartan men's dining clubs, the Syssitia, aren't exactly your friendly neighborhood potluck. Every single meal is an intense performance review. You are required to contribute a strict monthly portion of barley, wine, cheese, and figs from your state-assigned land. If your land fails and you can't afford your share of the infamous black broth soup, a delightful mix of boiled pork, blood, salt, and vinegar, you lose your full citizenship faster than you can say "check please." Now you need to manage your land while supervising helots and staying completely battle-ready at all times. You can't actually work the land yourself, of course. Manual labor is considered far beneath your dignity as a Spartan citizen warrior. And retirement? That isn't an option until you reach age 60, assuming you live that long. Because whether you are 30 or 59, when those war horns blow, you better be ready to march. So here you are at Thermopylae at age 45, standing alongside King Leonidas and your fellow Spartans. The Persian army gathered ahead of you is so massive it literally drinks entire rivers dry. But hey, this is what all those brutal years of character building were for, right? Talk about a final performance review. When the Persian messenger demands that you surrender your weapons, Leonidas drops the most legendary line in military history: "Come and take them." Classic Spartan energy. Why use 20 words when 3 will start a war? Looking around at your battle buddies in the phalanx formation, you realize something interesting. All those agonizing years of training weren't just about turning you into walking weapons. They were about creating an unbreakable bond between men who would rather die standing than live kneeling. Though, let's be honest, Spartans never learned how to kneel anyway. It's terrible for your posture. As millions of Persian arrows literally block out the sun, someone casually drops peak Spartan small talk. "Good news, we'll be fighting in the shade." And you laugh, not because it's hilarious, but because this is what Sparta built you for, turning certain death into dark humor. That is basically the national sport. In your final moments, it hits you that this isn't about winning anymore. It's about showing the entire world what sacrifice looks like when it's wearing a really cool red cape. Your stand here isn't just about stopping the Persians, it's about inspiring every Greek city-state to get off their philosophical backsides and actually unite for once. They'll tell stories about this day for thousands of years, probably with way better special effects than reality. But they will get one thing right. This wasn't just about 300 guys with great abs making a last stand. It was about showing the world that some things are worth dying for, even if those things include really uncomfortable sandals and questionable fashion choices. So here's the final lesson from your Spartan life. Sometimes the biggest victory isn't in surviving, but in showing others how to live. And if you're going to go out, you might as well do it in a way that people will still be making movies about 2,500 years later. Not bad for someone who started life with a wine bath and a performance evaluation, right?